Alright guys, so every spring I get inundated with questions about rooting hormone, and so we're going to dive into that right now today and talk about my opinion on it and what I feel will work for you and what I feel probably is more of a myth. So I want to talk about what rooting hormone actually is and then cover commercial varieties as well as organic methods people use like honey, cinnamon, aloe vera, and different types of, natural hormones that people use like that. So let's dive in and get this started. So welcome to the University of Mike. I'll be your professor today, and I've got our whiteboard with us here. And I went ahead and drew out everything that we really need to know right now for this video about rooting hormone. So first of all, plants, just like humans, carry all different types of hormones in their system. Those different hormones do different things for the plants. They encourage growth, or they encourage vegetables or flowering or root stimulation, or some of them stimulate leaves to grow. But right now we're concerned with the ones that stimulate root growth. And the rooting hormones are called auxins. And plants already naturally have these auxins in them. Now there's two types of rooting hormones that plants have. There's indole-3 acetic acid, also known as IAA. There's indole-3 butyric acid, also known as IBA. Now the IAA is the most abundant in the plant, but it also breaks down quickly, so it's not real long-lived. The indole-3 butyric acid, or IBA, is concentrated in very small amounts in the plant, but it converts very easily into IAA, which is what the plant uses to generate the roots. So those are the two types of plant rooting hormones. But there's a third hormone we should be concerned with right now, and that is actually a man-made rooting hormone. It's called alpha-naphthalene acetic acid, also known as NAA. So in reality, these are the three that we're going to be concerned with. These are the two that are naturally found in plants, and this is the one that is man-made. So you guys are always wondering, what type of rooting hormone do you use, Mike? And this is basically what I use. I've got three different varieties of rooting hormones. I've got Dip and Grow, Clonex, and Hormone 3. Now I don't stick to that hard and fast. I mean, I've used different rooting hormones over the years, but these are the three main ones that I use, and this one in particular I use a ton. Why? Because it works perfect for rhododendrons, and that is what my real passion is. I do love all kinds of plants though, and so I tend to use this one a lot just because it's always real handy for me. It's sitting where I can grab it real easy because I do use it a lot. This one I also use, it's a weaker concentration of IBA though, so I use it for more herbaceous plants or softwood cuttings that really don't require a lot of rooting hormone. I like this one because it comes into it in a gel and it sticks really well to the cutting when you're putting it down into the soil. This one here, and I don't actually use this one a whole lot. This one here, Dip and Grow, is a liquid, and it's probably, I would say probably the strongest of all of them, or you can make it the strongest, but I really like this one because it's a good commercial rooting hormone, and you're able to mix it to the concentration or the desired strength that you want it to be, and that's what makes this one so appealing. It comes in a concentrated liquid, and then you mix it to whatever concentration you want for softwood cuttings, for semi-hardwood cuttings, or for hardwood cuttings. Of course, the concentration is going to get stronger the closer you get to winter. Semi-hardwood will be a little stronger than softwood, and hardwood cuttings will be the strongest concentration you'll want to use. So if you're going to be rooting all sorts of cuttings throughout the whole year, this may be the one you guys want to go with, just because you can actually mix it to whatever concentration you want. The thing I like about the powder for the rhododendrons, this is actually a weaker concentration than this, but not by much. But I like this one for rhododendrons because it also is a powder form, it's dry, and I feel like it helps prevent fungus growth in the propagation frame because those rhododendrons are in that frame for such a long period of time. So let's just take a look at the three of these and compare them. So we'll look at the Hormone 3 first, and if we look at the active ingredients here, see if this will show it, it's the indole-3 butyric acid. So there it is, the IBA, and you can see if I spin it around here, it is 0.8%. That's the concentration of the rooting hormone in this powder. And then we'll go to Clonex. Clonex has the IBA as well, but it's only in 0.31%. So it's a much lower concentration of rooting hormone than this guy. So like I said, this one would be used for softwood cuttings. This one right here is the Dip and Grow. Let's take a look at this guy. And this one actually has two different types of hormones, which actually makes it even more appealing. So we've got the indole 3-butyric acid and the naphthalene acetic acid. So two different types of hormone. Now the IBA is at 1%, so it's actually higher than my Hormone 3 for the rhododendrons. And then it's got a 0.5% of the other, and that's the man-made one. So all of these hormones work, and I've used them all for different types of plants, and I've used them all for some of the same types of plants, and I've had success with all of them for different types and the same types of plants. The important thing to remember is to use these hormones in the concentrations that the manufacturer recommends, because they can actually be detrimental to the cuttings if you guys aren't using them accurately. If you use too much of like the Dip and Grow, too high of a concentration for softwood cuttings, it can kill the cuttings. If you use too low of a concentration, you're not going to get your bang for your buck out of it. Now going back to the plants, it's important to remember that all plants have these two hormones already inside of them. So they have the ability to root on their own without any of these hormones. These just add to it. They kind of stimulate the plant and give it that extra oomph that they need to start making those roots. Now people ask me all the time, Mike, can I root these plants without hormones? And yes, absolutely, you can root them without a man-made hormone. However, I've had much better success rates with the hormones. The plants will root just fine. I've done it myself, but where you might get 50% of them to take without the hormone, you might get 75 to 100% with the hormone. So you've got to decide that for yourself. Is this a commercial operation for you, or are you in a situation where you need to make this thing root absolutely no matter what because it's a special plant and you're never going to get another cutting from it again? Then you'll probably want to go with the hormone. If it's something that you're just doing this in your backyard and you don't care if you get 100% of them to root and you just don't want to use the hormones, you're going to get some to root without them. So now we've covered the plant rooting hormones and the one man-made one that we really need to be concerned with here. I really want to dive into another topic here that has to do with the rooting hormones because it's such a big and popular thing going on online right now, and everybody wants to do it, and that is trying to go organic and rooting their cuttings with cinnamon or honey or aloe or aspirin or something like that. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this, and a lot of it is fact-based, but I know some of this stuff gets kind of wishy-washy out there and people have different opinions on it. But here's my take on it. So let's talk about honey first, because I know that's a real popular one. When it comes to honey, I'm sorry to say, honey just doesn't have any rooting hormones in it. And I know it sounds so exciting and so alluring because it comes in a gel form just like the Clonex. It's a beautiful gel and you can buy it for $1.99 for an endless supply of it, and it's natural, it's organic, and it's just a beautiful, perfect, harmonious setup for cuttings. But it doesn't have any rooting hormones in it, guys. But the one area that honey can assist you in rooting cuttings is it's an antibacterial and an antifungal naturally. And so if you're doing this in your backyard, then honey might be an option for you. If you're not so interested in getting, such a high percentage of those cuttings to root, go ahead and grab the honey. It'll help prevent rot in the cuttings, but I'm sorry to say it does not have any plant hormones in it, so it won't help promote root growth. It'll cut down in the rotting process and give the plant more time to root. The next one I should cover is cinnamon. It's not as widely used, but it is one that people say will help with rooting occasionally. Cinnamon is the same as honey essentially. It has antifungal and antibacterial properties. However, no rooting hormone. It's not really going to help the plant to root, and like I said, it kind of goes hand in hand with the honey. So we're going to throw cinnamon into the same pile. So I guess the next one is aloe, and this is the big one that I hear people talk about all the time. Can I use aloe vera as a rooting hormone? Yes, you can, because aloe vera is a plant and it contains all of those rooting hormones right within it. And the beautiful thing about aloe vera is it comes in a gel form. It sticks to the cuttings easily, coats them, puts them in a perfect little cocoon. The other thing aloe has, all the other things that the plant will need. It's got minerals and vitamins, and it's got salicylic acid in it. Now, salicylic acid is a hormone that's in plants. It's not a root hormone, but it is a hormone that's in plants that stimulates growth. So once those roots start going, it's going to help those cuttings to root better and grow on faster. So aloe vera, taken right from the plant, gets a big thumbs up from me, guys. Now, you'd have to come up with a whole lot of aloe vera plant, tear a bunch of them apart to do this on a massive scale. But once again, if you're doing this in your backyard and you got a little aloe vera plant growing, you can cut a stalk off, carve right into it, and get that gel out of there and use it as a rooting hormone, and it will provide the hormones and all the other nutrients that those little cuttings need right within it. It's a beautiful, organic, natural method for you guys. The other point to make about salicylic acid, basically aspirin. It is a hormone in plants, like I said, but like I said, it's not a rooting hormone. Sometimes you'll see articles or videos, people taking aspirin and using that as a rooting hormone. It's not a rooting hormone. It will help the plant to grow once it has rooted, but it's not a rooting hormone. However, like I said, it'll help the plant to grow. So if you guys want to use aspirin in water when you're doing water cuttings or something similar, it will assist in the plant growth. The last one is willow, and that kind of goes along in the same category as aloe vera. Willow contains rooting hormones. In fact, it contains so much rooting hormone, you can almost cut a stick and throw it on the ground and the thing's gonna root. Willow roots so easily and so readily, it's crazy, guys. So you can, and people do this, I've never done this, but you can take willow and you can grind it up and you can crunch it all up and mix it around in water and use that as a rooting hormone. If it were me, I'd probably buy an aloe vera plant and stick it inside and use that. It'd be a lot easier to deal with than grinding up a whole bunch of willow. But if all you've got is a bunch of willow growing around your place, it does contain a high percentage of rooting hormone and will help you in your propagation efforts. So that's my take on it, guys. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know my favorite of the three here. I am, however, considering getting into more aloe vera related rooting hormone projects in the future. I'm excited about that. It's been around forever. I've been reading about it for a couple years, but for some reason I've never bought a plant and actually tried it out. I'm going to start getting into that more though. But I would, after all my research, I would definitely recommend, if you guys are just a backyard gardener, get some aloe vera. You might really like the results. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something out of it. If you did, hit the like button. If you guys have anything else to say about this topic, I mean, this is such a broad topic and there's so many opinions about this, just comment down below and I'll answer your comment. If you guys want to subscribe, follow along, see more videos like this in the garden, hit the subscribe button. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios!